most critical of them. We're going to play that clip and tie it into the voice recognition software that they've got hooked into these, and they don't want you to be aware of that. 2 years ago, they came out and bragged about it in promos, and we're given billions in Homeland Security funding to put these in towns all over the United States and worldwide. It's happening. England's really the capital of this. They shout orders at you. They spy on you. They face scan you. But the big thing is the audio is 360 and can go hundreds and hundreds of yards. And they have your voice print, folks. Your voice print's been captured, been chronicled, just like your face print via driver's license photos. And now all these companies, you go and take digital photos to get your smart card or your gym card. That is then sold into consortium databases. I blew the whistle on this 15 years ago, not because I'm a rocket scientist. They've had big consortium tech meetings in London, Chicago, New York, Tokyo, where you can read the text of what the major telecom heads and Sony heads and all of them, Microsoft heads, they admit all this. How they're going to track everything you do in real time. Your voice will be used to purchase. You've already got for 3 years Facebook kiosk up where you walk by and it goes, hey, Alex Jones, that's you. You're on Facebook. Your best buddy in high school was, and it just knows everything.
Now you can watch The Alex Jones Show live as it happens at Infowars.com/show.
You'll find links to all of our content there and a free 15-day trial for Prison Planet TV.
More than 60 movies and documentaries all in one place at Infowars.com/show.
Today, we are going to first get into the abject total fraud, the Cloward and Piven program, to further bankrupt this country and force people onto welfare so that they can be collectivized and socially engineered. And we're going to look at the conscious deception of Barack Obama in deceiving his minion supporters and the general public, and then we'll break down the rest of the story, what is going to be developing in the future under this system. Then the editor of World Affairs Brief, Joel Skousen, of course, nephew of Cleon Skousen, wrote the seminal Naked Communist, how the ultra-elite fund communism at the grassroots to take control of the population while they themselves are offshore and exempt. He's going to give us big breaking analysis because he's been predicting this. It's now happening, just as he said. One of the most accurate geopolitical forecasters I know. He's going to be joining us to break down this pivot to Asia and the move towards war with communist China. So that is all coming up, you know, about the Chinese communists targeting U.S. cities with nukes and threatening to attack us and firing missiles off our coast as tests. A lot of really serious things going on. He's going to be joining us. And then some news of national import, but it comes to you from right here deep in the heart of Texas, Austin, where we're broadcasting to you from. And folks are listening to us on stations like 590 AM, KLBJ. Laura Presley, who's fought to get fluoride out of the water, she's a doctor, Dr. Laura Presley, will be joining us. She's helped spearhead with other Austinites and yours truly and our listeners, being the first city in Texas, one of the first nationwide, to have a opt-out of the spy meters, the scam meters, the NSA surveillance meters, the Imperial probe droids that they attach on the side of your house to spy on you. She's going to be joining us in the last 30 minutes in studio of the 2-hour Sunday transmission today. And again, the news websites are Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.com, and then we have the nightly news site, InfoWarsNews.com. PrisonPlanet.tv will also take you there as well. Now, we've got a lot of other news, obviously, we need to get into. Big news on not just smart meters, literally tying into all the other, quote, smart appliances by design and spying on you and controlling your thermostat as Enron designed it to do back in their old scam days. Enron's been destroyed and their leader has died before going to jail, like Bernie Madoff. Is basically in jail. But the frauds they developed, the carbon taxes, the smart meters, the scam meters are still with us. But we're going to get in the next segment into a local Las Vegas news story that's on local TV. Las Vegas installs IntelliStreet's light fixtures under Homeland Security grants that listen to you. Now, why this is important, folks, is when they started putting cameras under federal grants 20 years ago, they said, oh, it's only for traffic. Now they admit, no, we're spying on everything you do, and we want to make it the law that all private cameras have to be hooked into our grid to spy on you. And most new cameras, like computers, have built-in microphones. That's the big Homeland Security push. When you hear your police chief pushing that, they're literally just federal DHS operatives. This is not about security, it's about control. But with the voice print analysis systems that are very inexpensive and are hooked into these hubs, they know who you are from your voice, and it's all being recorded, and they call them gunshot detectors. Austin had them put in 98. Most other big cities have them in now as well, and they have them in parks, you name it, listening to you, recording it, and they have your voice print analysis. So there's the rest of the story. I'm going to detail that in the next segment. But first off, McClatchy, D.C. reports analysis. Tens of millions could be forced out of health insurance they had. No. They've already forced $2 million 3 weeks ago, then $5 million. Now it's about $8 million. It's going to be more like $25 million. But that's just kicking you directly off of it. They're also, on average, have now doubled it. Humana, it's going up 500+% in Texas. That's all been announced. The insurance companies wrote this to literally screw you over. If you're not an illegal alien, you're not going to get free care. The illegals will get free care to bring them in to drive down wages. It's an incentive. That's why they now tell, half the country's basically going on part-time under Obamacare to lower wages further, and you're told now. DHS, through Health and Human Services, 2 weeks ago, said in the news, it's okay, tell your employees go on supplementary assistance. It's Cloward and Piven, sociology plan to totally domesticate us. You will not be able, under the system, most people on average to not be on welfare. So we went from 25 million on food stamps to 50 million in 6 years. It's going to be 100 mil. It's already 101 mil on some form of welfare. It's going to be 200 mil. Just like France, just like Russia. This is how they do it. It's a plan. So I thought I would actually go over here for you today what Obama actually has done in his deception. The public finally picked up on this and noticed it. You remember Obama saying at least now 50+ times that you can keep your insurance back when they were trying to pass it in 2009.
We will keep this promise to the American people. If you like your doctor, you will be able to keep your doctor, period. If you like your health care plan, you'll be able to keep your health care plan, period. First of all, if you've got health insurance, you like your doctor, you like your plan, you can keep your doctor, you can keep your plan. Nobody is talking about taking that away from you. No matter what you've heard, if you like your doctor or health care plan, you can keep it. If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. If you like your private health insurance plan,
that's enough.
You can keep.
It goes on and on forever. Then he came out last week and said you could keep it before the law passed. A total fraud. So then he lied, but then that blew up in his face, and then he came back and said, I'm sorry. But let's go ahead and go to him lying last week and saying, I didn't really say that. Here it is.
Or had one of these plans before the Affordable Care Act came into law, and you really liked that plan, what we said was you could keep it if it hasn't changed since the law's passed.
Let's play that clip for folks one more time so they can hear the absolute craven deception.
If you have or had one of these plans before the Affordable Care Act came into law, and you really liked that plan, what we said was you could keep it if it hasn't changed since the law's passed.
And that is not what he said. He said, under this bill, you can keep it, period. So there he is lying. Now, when we come back, he gets caught in the lie and apologizes, but there's a new video dug up off C-SPAN where he admits 4 years ago he lied that he was going to lie to everybody.
Do you understand how dark it is? How far down the line we are? How late it is?
All right, so we're analyzing here how Obama deceives people. So first he says hundreds of times, 50+ videos we found, keeps growing. But we know it's hundreds of times in different speeches that you'll keep your plan, period. So like he said, I'm not going to hire a single lobbyist and hired record numbers. I'm not going to increase the debt. I'm going to cut it in half, doubled it. I'm not coming after your guns, came after them. Just everything he says, it's the opposite. Going to stop spying on you illegally, increases it. Going to fight al-Qaeda, openly funds al-Qaeda in Libya and Syria. Whatever he says, it's the opposite. Unless it's abortion, he will try to fund basically forced abortions in Africa and places. So he will do that. Now I played him saying you can keep it. Then I played him saying, no, I meant until the bill passes. No, he's like, under this bill, you can keep it, period. Then he said, okay, I never said that. Then that didn't work. So a few days ago, on Thursday, he apologized and said, I'm sorry.
I am sorry that they are finding themselves in this situation based on assurances they got from me. We've got to work hard to make sure that they know we hear them and that we're going to do everything we can to deal with folks who find themselves in a tough position as a consequence of this.
You put them in this position with a bunch of foreign banks that wrote this to shut down their competition, make everybody buy insurance, kick people off their existing insurance, and double, triple, and quadruple premiums.